never one to waste a crisis. WikiLeaks is pouncing on the presidential wiretapping flap by unleashing Vault 7. The first installment is almost 8,000 web pages of secret CIA documents with over 900 attachments that reveal an intelligence destruction manual, how to use various programs to crash computers, steal passwords, and spy on you in ways that would make your gynecologist blush. I was curious when FBI Director James Comey made this odd statement a while back.
You go in any government office, we all have our little camera things that sit on top of the screen. They all have a little lid that closes down on them. You do that so that people who don't have authority don't look at you.
People who don't have authority, meaning the CIA. Those guys hate each other. Now, maybe in his interagency rift, he knew the CIA had not only found ways to breach networks, smartphones, and your mom's pants, but they also, at least according to this tricky trove, were turning your Samsung TV into a gossipy eavesdropper, recording every word you whisper, even when the thing's off. Now, that particular program is called Weeping Angel, which also sounds like a Lost Zeppelin track or the mean nickname your friends gave your goth girlfriend. Android, Apple, Microsoft, and Open Whisper systems fell all over themselves to either deny, calm panic, or figure out a way to toss their collective billions at the problem to make it go away. So what does all of this mean? Well, a few things. As I've said all along, wiretapping is really the least of the president's or anyone's worries when it comes to government spying. Not only have they continued to do it in the post-Snowden era, now they're just really, really good at it. They're hooked on it. And public outrage, tech hissy fits, and Julian Assange's bottle blondness won't make them stop. Is it the Russians? Well, maybe, but it depends where you stand. Leftists will go into full-blown hysteria, linking any rumor, story, or wrongdoing to Moscow. These Assange-hating McCarthyists feel justified anytime a leap in logic lands them on a new lily pad. Trumpists will downplay any Russian connection because one of the disclosed programs, called Umbrage, is apparently dedicated to making it seem to forensic investigators as though someone else was digging up digital dirt. So what we do know is this sets up an epic battle of the five armies as Silicon Valley loads up their quivers and drains their silos to fight the government for control of their products and services. Were you going to buy a Samsung TV at Costco? Well, maybe not today. And if the almighty bottom line is affected, don't expect these tech giants to be good sports about bad news. It will be great to have an army of billionaires become accidental libertarians and use their heft to limit the scope and power of government. Until then, know that everyone is spying on you. They're all spying on each other, and you can't trust anyone. So don't send them belfies if you can help it. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Glad you're here. I'm Kennedy. WikiLeaks is painting the CIA to be a vast domestic spying agency. What a shock. The feds have now reportedly opened an investigation into how WikiLeaks got that CIA data. But is all the government snooping truly necessary to keep us safe? Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters joins me. He's Fox News strategic analyst and former Army intelligence officer. Welcome back, Lieutenant Colonel.
Hi, Kennedy.
Hello, darling. Okay, so let's talk about this because the timing is very curious. Do you think that this dump of WikiLeaks CIA information coincides perfectly for some reason with Donald Trump's claims that the Obama administration was wiretapping his phones in Trump Tower?
Of course it does. And this is Russian intelligence working through its cutout, WikiLeaks, trying to cover up for the blooper when the president said, without any substantiation whatsoever, that President Obama was wiretapping him. Kennedy, what you said in your monologue just isn't true. Nothing in this release says that the CIA was spying on the American people. Nothing. These techniques are techniques we use against our enemies. And would you like, a libertarian or not, do you want the CIA and NSA to stop spying on terrorists, to stop spying on the Russians, to stop keeping us safe? It would have been dereliction of duty had the CIA not developed programs. I mean, hello, terrorists use smartphones, terrorists use computers, and terrorists and other enemies also watch TV.
There's nothing in the information that we've been given that reassures us that they are not spying on American citizens, and this technology is so accessible and so broadly used, and we know that from a number of sources that, yes, the government has in fact, without warrants, been spying on American citizens. I don't give the CIA the benefit of the doubt.
Of the CIA. Well, then, okay, you don't have to, but I'm a patriot. I've worked in intelligence. The CIA is too busy to spy on people's lives. It's not interesting. Their lives aren't interesting. I would tell you, the American people are being spied on.
Yes.
Not by CIA, not by NSA, but by Google, by Facebook,
okay,
by
but
Amazon. Virtually every app you have on your phone.
That's one of the things that I said in my monologue.
But that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter.
Okay.
If Google spies on us, that's okay, right? But
let me respond to that.
CIA,
let me respond to that.
Let me respond.
Well, no, you just made a statement, and I'm saying to you what I said in my monologue. Everyone is spying on you. They're all spying on each other. But
no,
I have to knowingly enter
into
the
American people.
Yes, they are. I have to enter into a relationship.
Give me proof that the CIA is spying on the American people.
Give me proof that they're not. Give me proof that they're not.
Well, how about the Constitution? Give me a case. Give me a case where they've been spying on any of your friends
Lieutenant
or
Colonel,
you.
I would love to access some of those cases, but because of the FISA courts, it is absolutely impossible because they operate in utter opacity. So we cannot know who is being spied on, who is being wiretapped, and who is under surveillance by the federal government because it operates, because of Section 702 of the Patriot Act, under complete darkness. There are many things we don't know. There are some things we don't have to know, but we don't know what the exact CIA budget is. We are now learning that they have tools beyond what Edward Snowden could have imagined in 2013.
Actually, the tools revealed in this WikiLeaks dump are pretty basic. They're common sense tools. Again, we need these tools to work against our enemies. Now, if you can cite a single case of you or your friends or acquaintances being spied on by the CIA, let me know. But I have actually worked in that world. Yeah. And people on the outside keep saying, oh, boogeyman, the CIA is spying on us. The CIA is really, really busy protecting us. Kennedy, you're a libertarian. How can you possibly in any way come to the defense of Vladimir Putin, who kills his opposition?
I don't come to the defense. If you've ever watched the show, I don't come to the defense of Vladimir Putin.
You're playing into Putin's hands.
No,
you're playing into Putin's hands.
No, and I also won't give into the new Cold War hysteria, those flames that people are fanning for their own political convenience. I think the truth is somewhere else and not on either of these extreme sides, which are using hysteria and emotion to try and control people, their movements, and their actions. And I'm glad that Silicon Valley is going to stand up for itself, its customers, and for privacy, and defend some of these egregious steps that the government has made.
They are defending their profits. They are greedy pigs. I mean, come on. I mean, they won't even help law enforcement. I mean, Kennedy, do you
they help law enforcement all the time. And by the way, they grant access to over 80% of the requests that they get, not with warrants. These are without warrants that they get from law enforcement. So they actually do. But, they have to appear at least as though they are using this technology to keep people safe and their information private, which is what consumers rightfully want. And that's okay. Just because you can hack something doesn't mean you should.
Consumer habits.
Okay, and here's the other.
I love billionaire libertarians.
I do too. Amen. Well, I'd rather have them on my side. But here's the last thing. I agree with you when you say the CIA is very busy. All of these agencies are busy. The FBI is busy. The problem is they're too busy because they're looking at and spying on too many people, and they oftentimes don't get the bad guys snared in that all important net. You make this wild
claim that's just not true. The CIA and NSA, they're made up of decent people. Military
I don't doubt that they're made up of decent individuals.
And
but I also know that the CIA created its own hacking apparatus so it could operate independently of the NSA, so it didn't have a rival agency looking over its shoulder.
No, that's not true. That's
absolutely
nutcase stuff.
No, that is true.
They need it because things move very fast today, and some specific CIA programs have to happen in a closed loop.
I wish I could have blind trust.
Do you think I'm the enemy of the American people?
I love my country. Right now, especially, I do not trust the government. No, I love
but
my
you
country.
trust Vladimir Putin and WikiLeaks.
Of course I don't trust Vladimir Putin, and I think Julian Assange is a kook. They're not mutually exclusive.
An alleged rapist.
What?
No,
yeah,
but
well, yeah,
our
okay.
government.
All right.
Do you want to really? Were you a really true libertarian? Would you like to live in a world without government, without police, without the military, without intelligence agencies?
No, and that's a
How long
false
do you think you'd
dichotomy, and you
survive?
know it. You absolutely know it.
No, I don't.
Yes, no, you
Our
absolutely do.
intelligence agencies
And
get a bad rap.
do you think it's impossible for the CIA to overstep their bounds?
Of course, they're human beings. They could, but show me the evidence that they have. They are doing everything they can. Look, when I was in intelligence, we got ethics training. Unlike the people in the Trump administration, by the way, we got it, and we got it over and over again. We were strict in our obedience to the law. And by the way, no president can order surveillance. It does go through the FISA courts,
Yeah.
and the standards are very high and very rigorous. And when I, as an officer, took an oath, it wasn't to a regime, it was to the Constitution of the United
Amen.
States.
Well, you and I both
everyone
agree
I know
on
in
that.
intelligence believes that.
Okay.
Well, yes, but do you think they really think the CIA is subverting the Constitution? Do you really think that?
I think
Because they're
that
not.
the potential for abuse is so stark and
potential.
astounding that to be so naive to assume that it's not happening is doing a great disservice to individual liberty.
I'm
Lieutenant
not
Colonel,
assuming. I'm
thank you.
telling you, I've been
Unfortunately,
there.
I have to move on and talk to the party panel. You know, I always enjoy talking with you. I think you are an incredible author. I love your books, and I love your brain even when we disagree, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. And now to my battle-hardened party panel tonight.